and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense why he didn't curl.
Well, we gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with hack.
Really good spots for Mouat.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, if it's dead nose and just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does.
Okay, so it might, close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
To try. He's the best curler on the planet, but he's been doing it for so long sometimes that he seems sometimes on tour he's just kind of coasting along, and get him at a world championship or a Euros and an Olympics, and he's obviously got an amazing record.
Yeah, no question about it. I know he told me specifically when I was on the broadcast with him in St. John's just about how it can be hard to find the motivation sometimes, and also he thinks his team is just better over a long event. He feels like their strength is, in a 10-game event where you have some time to kind of get used to the ice, get used to the conditions, get yourself ingratiated into the event. Whereas in the slams, I mean, as well as anybody, you lose your first 2 games and you're almost dead. So you have to be a quick starter, and it seems for him they haven't been able to start as quickly as they'd like in some of these slams.
Yeah, and there's a few teams like that. So you look at a team like Kevin Cooey, right? And Kevin Cooey is one of the best Brier players in the world, and has never seemed to have the amazing success in the slams. And a guy like Bruce is ready to rock, and he's always kind of ready and has played always great in the slams, basically right from when he got into them.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking about a 9-time slam champion. He's won 3 in a row, has Bruce Mouat. And with that, he has a chance to be the first skip ever to win 4 in a row. 2-0 already so far through this event here at the WFG Masters. And that brings his overall record at the slams this year to 21-1. What is it about Bruce that has just really clicked for him? I mean, obviously we know he's good, but he seems to have reached another level this season.
Yeah, I think that the amount of time that they spend together and the fact that they've curled together for so long and throw the rock so similarly, they just seem to be able to kind of always know if they do make a mistake, how to make a quick adjustment, and they're very good at not missing 2 in a row.
So we'll see how they fare. We'll let Robbie Doherty finish up the player introductions, and then we'll be ready to rock. So we have the handshakes here. We are just about ready to get underway. Team Bruce Mouat curling out of Stirling, Scotland. Skip is Bruce Mouat. Third is Grant Hardy. Second is Bobby Lammy. And lead is Hammy McMillan Jr. And Team Edin up on the screen there from Karlstad, Sweden. Skip is Nicholas Edin. Third is Oscar Eriksson. Second is Rasmus Vrano. And lead is Christopher Sundgren.
Yeah, and first step to beating Bruce Mouat is complete for Nick, getting the hammer, and that makes a big difference. They can kind of dictate the way the start of the game goes.
Yeah, we saw both teams with sweeping pinned it, so what you do is if both players pin all their rocks from both teams, then you have to throw one with no sweeping at all. And Nicholas was a little more game and up to that challenge than Bruce was, and so yeah, it will be Nicholas Edin starting with the hammer here in the first. And we see Hammy still rocking that haircut, Connor. I guess he won $1,000, and I guess that made him have more money to do it again.
He's the Slim Shady of curling.
Yeah, I saw you posted a video on Instagram of him getting it retouched up over Christmas, and I thought, wow, what a gift to us.
Hard to make too much fun of them. They're going for their 4 slam win. I'm trying to find 4 slam wins in a season.
And you mean games? You mean wins in games?
Win a game.
Did you guys not win one all this year?
No, we have. Yeah,
okay, I thought in slams though. You won some, didn't you?
We have, but okay. they are hard to come by.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about it a lot, but even though there is some new teams in the field here, Corey Dropkin, John Epping, Jordan McDonald, it's, these are the top teams in the world. It takes a lot to get here, and every game at the slams is tough, as you well know, Connor, and yeah, it's not easy. That's for sure. We see a rare mistake from Hammy McMillan, if you can call it that, just a little bit off the center line with that guard. So Nicholas could have ticked it or done something with it if he wanted, but they throw up the corner. We're going to get some action here right away.
Line's good. Top 4. Line's nice. Top 4. A wee bit of room. Okay, line's perfect then. 14-2.
Getting better, still top T.
45 pounds, men nästan ingen. Never needs to curl. Okay.
So maybe a touch heavy there from Hammy.
14-2.
So you heard 14-2 to the line earlier this afternoon. I don't know if it was the same in your game, Connor, but we were seeing 15-2 to the line.
Yeah, we were a little bit faster than that, but I think they're just trying to find a way to get a bit more curl out here, so that might take the speed off a little bit and slow it down.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on it. It's also the first end. Sometimes the ice can be a little bit stiffer in the first. Freeze called here for Christopher Sundgren. A little heavy, but does end up in front of that Mouat stone for shot.
Känns lite segare ditåt just nu i alla fall än tidlagningarna. De var lite innanför deras träningsspår tror jag också. Men när man klockar deras också, 14-4. Ja. Visst, det var inte mycket sop på deras. Ja, och deras gick nog exakt där vi tränar tror jag. Ja. Line's okay. Well then. Curl. Clean now. Clean. Clean. Straight. Whoa, 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 whoa. Straight. Hard, hard.
Very good.
Good shot from Bobby Lammy.
Yeah, and one thing I would say if you're watching this game and you are a junior curler or somebody looking to improve is listening to how Bruce and how calm they are when they get the rock down the sheet. They're very, very precise, but being precise doesn't mean people screaming their faces off. They're really good at just kind of walking the rock down the sheet. I would say probably the best in the world at doing it. And listening to how they communicate is a good way to understand how to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a point well made, Connor, for sure. Very rarely do you hear them panic. So freeze here for Rasmus. Doesn't want to bump this too much and doesn't. Angles shaping up pretty decently here for Team Edin, I think. Bruce is maybe thinking they can...
Try and stick it behind it.
Okay, they're going to run the guard here.
9-5.
Just throwing control at this. This feels like a little bit, Connor, how the game's evolved over the last few years, maybe the last 10 years or so, of seeing teams not afraid to play these short runbacks with less weight.
Yeah, I think with the evolution of sweeping and just being able to control the rock a little bit more, and also people practicing so much and throwing it so consistently, it just brings in the opportunity to always throw the shot with the biggest margin you can humanly give yourself, right? So a little bit less weight on these run backs, so you're able to sweep it to curl if you have to.
Doesn't quite plant it, but gets rid of the red, and all of a sudden that's a bit of a lonely Ruby in there.
Very good.
This is a rematch of the 2022 Olympic gold medal final, which I would say is maybe one of the best curling games ever played. Both teams well into the 90% in that game. It was a joy to watch. Nicholas Edin coming out on top in that one for his first Olympic gold medal. I'm going to go ahead and guess Bruce will have a couple more chances at it.
I would think Bruce, at the moment, until something drastically changes, would be the heavy favorite going into the next Olympics.
Yeah, we're just about a year away from the 2026 games, and it's going to be a very exciting Cortina d'Ampezzo. Ooh. Not ideal.
Yeah, and I found it kind of interesting that Nick decided to mix it up right off the bat after winning the hammer against Bruce. puts a lot of pressure on being precise right from the get-go. And Nick is one of the best at angles and being aggressive, but obviously so is Bruce.
Can you throw?
So just trying to squeak by the guard here, see if they can't get rid of that red stone that's currently shot. Grant Hardy's first.
And to me, I would say the key to Bruce's success and what makes him so good, I think heavily falls on how good Grant has gotten and how well he manages not only making every single shot, it seems like, but also he is the guy that they go to when they have a conversation about strategy, and Grant is very good at keeping Bruce kind of level-headed and being a great caddy. And I think that's another thing if you're looking at trying to improve and just listening to some of these top teams, a thirds position is all about making your skip better, and Grant has gotten so good at that.
So all of a sudden, Mouat lying 4 without Hammer here. And it's funny with the Mouat team, Connor. I've noticed this commentating their games this year, watching them play a lot. It kind of happens to you quickly. You know, you're not necessarily looking at things going, oh, geez, Bruce has us in real trouble. And then all of a sudden they're lying 4. And you go, gee, what happened? What just happened here?
Yeah, they're very good. I played them last weekend in the quarterfinal and get an up-close look at how good they really are, and just they never miss an easy shot. And if you never miss an easy shot, then the game's pretty simple. And if the team that you're playing against can always play well, but they just seem to always have a next level to their game, and they're very good at making those hit and rolls and those freeze-type shots that are so difficult.
Very nice shot there from Oscar Eriksson. Gets rid of all 3 Mouat stones, but even again, you make a triple, you get rid of 3 of them. Grant Hardy can make a hit and roll underneath here, and you're probably almost always getting forced if you're Edin. So Grant thought that was a little wide out of his hand, maybe a little positive. So Bobby Lammy trying to bring this one over. And he will not get that roll. In fact, rolls a little to the outside.
Yeah, and I think we'd be remiss to not mention Oscar as well as being one of the best thirds in the world for a very, very long time. And him and Nick work so well together as well. And we've seen that in those world championships. What is he at, 5 world championships
7.
now? 7? That's gross. How is that even possible?
It's a great question. Oscar doesn't have 7. I believe Nicholas would have won his first one with his old school lineup of Frederick and Victor Schell and Sebastian Kraup. So I think Oscar is 6. Well, I have it all written down. I don't know why I'm saying I think. Yeah, it's 7 for Nick, and then I believe 6 for Oscar and Christopher, and then 5 for Rasmus, I think.
Incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stupid number. And then you have Oscar having an Olympic bronze in mixed doubles on top of that. Oscar also has a world mixed doubles title. So does Rasmus. Rasmus is actually the reigning world mixed doubles champion with his sister Isabella.
I think Oscar's on 12 or 13 best looking man on tour awards as well.
That helps. Helps if you look good too. That's for sure.
He's probably going to hit you to the blank.
Yep.
So I was wrong. Oscar does have all 7 world championships as well. But he did win his first one as 5th for Nicholas when he was with his old lineup with Victor and Frederick and Sebastian. So in any case, many, many, many medals. Really nice shot, though, by Oscar to get that one buried underneath the center guard. So this will be a run-back try for Bruce Mouat looking to get the double.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Yes. Yep. Hard.
And roll up. Hard roll.
And no problem there for Bruce Mouat. Gets rid of the one in the house, and they lie 1.
det eller försöka sätta floppen hit.
Good sweep there from Bobby Lammy.
Nolla här är okej. Ja. Men det är klart, ta 2 är det bästa. Ja, jag tänker bara att det är mindre sannolikhet att jag sätter. Dragningen kan man nästan garantera, men... Sätter vi den.
So if Bruce Mouat can get a win in this game, he will secure himself a playoff position. For Nicholas Edin, a win here would improve him to 2-1, give them a good chance at also making the playoffs. Certainly a 2-2 record usually gets you into a tiebreaker position at the very minimum.
Yeah, with such a great field at the Slam, it seems like there's always been a big clump at that 2-2 spot. And good draw of the button might get you straight in, but you should have an opportunity at a tiebreaker.
Well, and we know they have a good draw to the button. They were throwing without sweeping here in this game, so that means it was a 0 today. That will certainly go a long way. So they were deciding, I think, Connor, which of these guards they wanted to draw around. Looks like they've decided to go around their red corner. Is that what you would do in this situation as well?
Yeah, it's an interesting call. It's, I think it shows a little bit about who you're playing, right? They're saying they could hit and roll and be behind the yellow, but they know that Bruce, more often than not, is going to not only make the run back, but stick the run back with his own guard. So Nick's opting to use that red guard so that if he buries this, Bruce has to run a different color into the rings and has to make the double and hopefully get the blank.
Nothing yet from Sundgren and Vrano.
Snacka fart, behöver curla fortfarande, vi är halv uppe. Yes, ända stopp, fortsätt. Den är för lätt fortfarande, kom igen.
So the draw is made, but I don't think it's fully buried. Bruce feels like he can chase this here. Oh, there you go. Good look at it. Bruce can probably see about half from the hack, so that's more than enough to chase, and that would secure the force for them.
Yeah, and key there for Nick, he really wanted to kind of get that under there to force the run back. This obviously would lead to a force if made.
Last rock for Bruce Mouat here in the first.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Clean. Hard. Yep. Hard. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Hard roll. Good shot.
So Bruce makes no mistake, and Nicholas Edin will have an open hit for one.
Yeah. Okay.
Has a little bit of room to roll as well if he needs. Just needs to stick in the full 8 foot.
Eller en vanlig 10 här. Tror du det finns någonting där runt linan så kan man minsta ospelat. Han såg ut att gå ganska ärligt. Det är lite mera till vänster, men ja.
Well, if the game's going to go like this with that many rocks in play, I think we're in for a really good one.
Yeah, totally. Really good first end for both teams. Bruce Mouat just that little bit better, getting the force here from Nicholas.
Yeah.
No mistake. So one will go up on the board for the Swedes. We'll see Bruce Mouat with the hammer for the first time when we come back.
Surprised you drew there. Yeah, I thought so.
One red.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are, and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
A pretty textbook first end for Bruce Mouat. Couple really nice run backs, and they force Nicholas Edin into one. We'll see what they can do with the hammer here in the second end. Does look like we are in for an aggressive game from both teams. Center guard going up here for Christopher. I think that's a, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I would classify Christopher as sneaky good.
Yep.
Like, people don't talk about him enough, but he's been the best lead in the stats for like 6 years in a row. He's kind of just quiet and does his job, but sometimes you need a person like that on your team.
Well, you and I both being leads, you know as well as anyone, people only notice you as a lead when you miss. As long as you make everything, then they don't really care.
It's not a good position for people who like attention.
Yeah, so why did I ever play it? Huge mistake. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe I should have done
something with your hair. That's what we should have done.
I left that to Colin. I enjoyed having a job. I think if I showed up to my school with my haircut like that, the kids would have teased me until I no longer was a teacher anymore. You have to be in a different world to be able to pull that off in regular life, like Colin being a chef.
The Hodge, yeah, he had it going for a bit. He had like designs in his hair and everything.
Oh yeah, it looked awesome. Just not something I could ever pull off. Is that why you decided to play lead? You don't like the attention?
That and I can't hit. But we'll go with the attention thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's great. Line's perfect.
So the draw wasn't perfectly made by Christopher. It is. It's buried, but it's gettable with how this ice curls, and that'll be right on the top for Hammy McMillan Jr.
14-2. Yep. It was on a fresh path.
Sorry? I think a little bit, just...
So it does seem to me like they got a little bit more curl than even this morning's draw, which usually means that the ice makers will take a little bit more off the top when they do the ice. So they're getting a little bit more curl, but also brings back that speed a little bit.
Kanske att den hänger lite, behöver köra något. Okej, fullt håll. Och allt i Ogge ser ut som. Farten är rätt bra. Behöver köra lite, den ligger för halvfrysa bara nu. Farten är typ där själv. Ja. Bra.
And very nice freeze there from Rasmus.
Bra.
Looks like both teams came to play here this afternoon, Connor. This is a really good start to the game.
Yeah, we haven't had a miss yet. I don't think at front end for the most part. They're playing really, really well.
Easy peel.
So we'll see Bobby slam this here.
One of these things where these guys know they're going to play each other a million times, right? So they do want to play well against each other.
And wow, the first little blink there is. I do think they were trying to make contact with the pile, but unfortunately that just runs by for Bobby Lammy.
Just a little aggressive. Den cornern kanske är bättre för dem. Eller? Medan slå och rulla in på cornern. Ja. Jag gillar det. Jag gillar det. Få in en bite där vore perfekt.
So they're going to remove one of the corner guards here. You heard Nicholas say just biting, roll to a biter is perfect. My Swedish is not very good, but I did hear perfect, so I assume it means the same thing. Might be embarrassing if it doesn't, but I feel pretty confident.
I think you're safe there. Yeah, so I think just with the setup in the house, it's good for red, but it's not perfect for red. And Nick playing Bruce as many times as he has, knows that they're not going to miss that run back too often. So it is set up for both those reds to spill, so they want to try to get another one in the rings, but they won't be happy with that result.
Not sure.
Yeah, it actually just gives them an even better corner guard. Yeah, it's not their own color, but rolls a little closer to center, and with how much this ice is curling, that would be probably welcomed by Team Mouat.
Kanske inte så långt ut i sig, men nej, om någonting. Känns som det är lite mer kall utåt. Ja, jag håller med.
So not only trying to get both reds, but trying to create a little bit of separation with the yellow, so you hear that they're actually going to change the call and just try to roll behind the corner. Draw behind the corner. Even better.
Yeah, like you said, Connor, I don't think it's a perfect setup for red here. I actually think you can probably get both reds gone and keep the yellow around. So I don't mind this call either. I think this is a good aggressive call from Bruce.
Close. No, line's good. Back four. Clean. Back four. Line's good.
Grant indicating it's a little heavy here. They're calling back 8 now. Ooh, is this through the house?
Line's fine.
Ooh, that just stays on the rings for Bobby Lammy.
Any other player but a skip swept it was going to go out. That's my theory.
Yeah, Nicholas has played a little mixed doubles. He's done some sweeping, but pretty much a career skip, and maybe showed a little bit in his form there.
Skips get to get all the glory, so you have to give him a dig every now and then.
No question about that.
Lite plats just nu, men hur är farten? Bra linje! Fortfarande plats.
So the follow down here for Oscar Eriksson.
Linje på halvfrys. Ja, bra linje också. Kan köra lite grann. Lite kall, ja. Tredjedels frys. Snart halv. Snyggt. Rätt.
Really good throw from Oscar. And we're going to see the follow down for Grant.
I think maybe if we freeze and they freeze, it might the next one. 15.
Nice. Ja, den som gled långt med 14-0 där på träningen. Om någonting så kan
So Grant say 15, so it's 15 to the back and still probably 14-5 to the line.
Line's good.
Ja, det är 84 på den.
Hammy really trying to bring this one over. This looks heavy.
Gotta go. Keep going. Really gotta go.
And sometimes when the ice makers are fabricating a little bit extra curl to the middle, you'll find that it'll actually dish out a little bit, and that to the corner is going to be lightning fast. Almost imagine it like slightly climbing a hill the whole way down. So it's fighting that curl, so it actually is a little bit quicker than you think.
Yeah, we don't usually see Mouat with 3 half misses in a row, or even close to a full miss from Bobby, so it's just too bad it's not really a better setup for Nicholas Edin as far as the steal goes, but
yeah, a little bit of cat and mouse right now, right? Where he's going to hit the back ones. Eventually, he's going to have to try to get a force somehow, or he knows Bruce also does have to move shot rock. Nick's playing this then, knowing that Bruce will have to eventually get shot rock, and hopefully the way that Nick sees the angles will have a double to get the force coming after that.
Ja. Rent. Nära. Rent. Lite vid. Oh. Ah, jävlar.
Yeah. I think we have to.
Ja, bra.
Yeah. Kelly making a play somehow.
so good shot from Oscar Eriksson. Nicholas Edin lying 1, 3, and 4
leave
here.
it behind them. If it goes too far, it might leave the double.
Great.
You can lie too doing this.
Let's play that then.
It will, yeah.
So as you watch this game, you're going to get kind of 2 different type of skips, I would say. And I would say that Bruce is one of those skips where he's happy to have his teammates involved in the strategy, and they very much are like a collective team when it comes to discussions and making decisions. And Nicholas is more of a traditional skip, I would say, where he likes to kind of play the end out a certain way that he's seeing, and every now and then he'll talk to Oscar, but few and far between would be the conversations with the four of them, whereas Bruce is more a collective effort, and it doesn't seem to bug him if his teammates make a call that they're seeing. Both totally good ways to do it, just very different and require different types of communication with your teammates.
Yeah. Try and get right over there.
Yeah, and I think when you play underneath those types of skips, some players respond better to one type of skip or another, you know, and I think I never really cared. I was fine either way. As a lead, you do have to be a little bit malleable, but I think some players do thrive with a skip that's maybe they feel a little bit more a part of the strategy, and other players are like, you know what, I don't ever want to think about that, and I'm going to shoot my best when I don't have to worry about it. I'd love for that one to stick around. And unfortunately rolls out, so not really a great result there for Grant Hardy. Still not really a steal opportunity here for Nicholas, but definitely the force looks on at this point.
Det är jobbigt om det lägger sig liksom 2/3 omlott. Jag gillar precis, lite över curl-outen. Och vicka isär den halv meter är det väl okej.
He's going to try to just roll this just to block off any sort of aggressive shot for Bruce to score 2. So the only way Bruce is scoring 2 is by making a good draw around the corner guard. So Nick's going to try to put it in a spot where either he is going to still lay 2 if they were to go around the corner guard, or slightly block it where the risk just becomes too much for Bruce to do that, and he's going to have to hit the middle ones.
Var det typ 10 att spela på chappen fett eller? 10-8. Okej.
First stone for Nicholas Edin here in the second end.
Yep.
Again, wants just that little roll. And maybe not quite as much as they wanted there, Connor.
I think it's pretty close. The only problem is it might have just set up the triple.
No. Thinking 5 sticks there. Just worried that if I go for it this way, then 3 might not go.
Well, I don't actually think it's there that way. I think if you're making it, you have to go south.
Let's go for thin then.
Yeah. Even if you just make it double, take your 1.
Yeah, quarter stone?
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of meaning when I was talking about Grant and how well he handles Bruce, or manages Bruce, I would say. Even as they talk about the shot, and Grant's kind of the one getting the angle, and he'll kind of explain it to Bruce. And it's not that Bruce doesn't know, it's just Grant walks him through the shot, and Bruce focuses on how to make the shot. And Grant is very, very good at just kind of keeping Bruce in the same headspace where he can go and just throw the rock at the broom and not think too much.
What way am I going? Low side.
Thinking high.
Okay.
Right, and you hear Bruce obviously very comfortable. He's asking Grant how he's going to make this shot that he's calling for himself.
Close to a quarter.
So we'll see if the communication pays off here for Bruce Mouat, looking for a triple. Try to preserve the blank.
Lane.
Curl.
Curl. Curl. Curl, Holly. Hard.
Got 1, got 2, but just over top of the third. And so this will be a chance to set up the force for Nicholas Edin. Good try from Bruce. Just over top.
Samma mängd is. Ja. Ganska mycket. Tänkte på igår när jag till den. Don't think I can nose this now.
Same draw shot.
Yeah. 15. Gick bra. Kan hålla igång. Ja. Ja. Ja, hela vägen in. Rent.
Just need to hit and stick here, and they do, and so it will be a draw for one for Bruce Mouat.
Good end by Nick. Very patient end, kind of holding those rocks on the side there, and 2 really good ends for the Swedes.
Yeah, a couple, like we said earlier, a couple half misses for Team Mouat. Probably deserve to get forced here. Just needs a piece of the 8-foot, does Bruce Mouat. Final stone.
Line's good. Line's fine.
And no trouble for the skip from Sterling. So Mouat will put 1 on the board. Edin will get the hammer back.
And no one was doing anything. I was like, have I thrown it?
No. I was. You thought you were good. You're fine, absolutely. You're back on the head, you're back on the hand, back forward.
Good. No one was saying anything. I was like,
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
A good first couple ends for the team from Karlstad.
Line's okay.
We are all tied up 1-1 here. Nicholas Edin and Bruce Mouat in this draw 11 game here at the WFG Masters.
15-7-5. Doesn't need to curl. Yes, Hammy.
And Hammy will get the center guard up, and we'll have some more action here. And as Christopher Sundgren draws around that center guard, a good chance to remind you to check out all of the action here this afternoon from Guelph, right on Home Team Live or on Sportsnet if you're in Canada. The Sportsnet feature game is Brad Jacobs versus Mike McEwen. Mike McEwen is leading that one 2-0. Brad Jacobs has the hammer. They're playing the third. Then we have our Slam debutantes, Marco Husley and Jordan McDonald facing off. Jordan McDonald just making a draw for 1, and so Husley and McDonald are tied 1-1. Husley will have the hammer playing the third as well. And speaking of Slam debutantes, at least for this season, John Epping finding his way back into the Slam picture and is leading Corey Dropkin 2-1. That's another one of our feature games here on Home Team Live. Tyler George and Chelsea Carey on the call for that one. Dropkin has the hammer down 1 in 3. And then, of course, we have our game and all 4 games available in full house mode as well. If you are the type of person that likes to watch 4 games at once, we can take care of that for you. Draw around for Christopher, just poked out a little bit.
Line's great.
Hammy looking to freeze on top.
Line's really good. We've got room. Got room. Gotta go. Hard then. Line's okay, just go for weight.
Top 12.
This looks short.
Okay. 15-7.
And I heard them talking. I think Hammy's got 2 different rocks. So they cut the ice in the first one, and then he's dealing with something that might be a normal stone or a little bit of a mover, right? And making that adjustment in your head is something that can be a little bit difficult. So just trying to figure that out the first couple ends here.
Yeah, this is interesting. We're seeing Nicholas Edin drawing the open side here.
So again, 1, respecting the run back ability, and 2, recognizing that it's an odd end where he can kind of doesn't mind if a blank may come up here.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much. We were talking about this on the broadcast earlier today while you were out there coaching, but you know, this new rule where you can't blank 2 ends in a row, we haven't seen it affect too many games. We did see it in the Anderson-Homan game where Carrie Anderson was forced to draw for one after she had blanked a previous end and maybe would have taken another blank. Rachel Homan was only lying 1, but Carrie elected to draw. But other than that, you know, it feels like the teams haven't adjusted their strategy too much in terms of they're not afraid to have a blank end and get maybe pressured into scoring the next end afterwards.
Yeah, I would say coming into it, I thought it would be more evident that people were trying to do something or to play a certain way to avoid the double blank, but it doesn't seem to be coming into play. It seems like if somebody blanks, they're totally have already thought through it and they're okay to mix it up the next end. So it's been an interesting non-factor, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Gå lite mixen. Kant. Kom igen. Ja, det är bra. Det är bra. 10-4.
Yeah, and maybe further to your point, Nicholas Edin's fine to score in an even end. So if he blanks this one and he's forced to score next end, well, so what? Good. Fine.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is a lot of the Slams teams have confidence that in a situation where analytically it is still better to score one in an even end, they'll take the risk because they believe that if they do get into trouble, they can smash their way out of it and still kind of take that 10% or 8% win success rate by scoring a point. So they're not super concerned with it. They'll take the risk of trying to get 2.
Great shot.
Good shot there from Bobby Lammy. It does stop in time to be shot stone, which will probably force the chase out of Edin here, or he could elect to come around the center guards.
9-8.
9-8. 9-8.
So it's one of those things where the backstone, he could hit and lay 2, but the ones that are going to be hurting him all end are up front there, right? So to me, I could see this being a missile right in the middle of the 2 and trying to squeeze through there. So I think that's what they're going to elect to do. Erasmus throws it accurately and hard, just about as anybody else. So if he hits him right in the middle, he should be able to kind of wiggle his way into the house. And if he does, then there's no risk of any sort of steal.
I think we're going to see a Rasmus bomb here. This is not going to be thrown light. Oh, baby, he's cooking this one.
And you kind of go back to that Olympic final. I think Rasmus played about 142%, throwing 5-second missiles the whole game, and really kind of controlled and dictated that Olympic final game because Nick had the hammer, and he was able to kind of just keep playing the ends how he wanted to because Rasmus was able to clear rock so well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic shot, and I think with how easy that slides into the house, people at home might not realize how difficult that shot is, but you have to be able to throw the big weight accurately, and then you also have to hit the rock in the right spot. Squeezing it through a hole like that's not easy to do, and that's just a really, really good shot from Rasmus there.
Hard! Whoa. Hard roll. Whoa.
And how's that for a roll from Grant Hardy? For fun.
Pretty darn good, perfect curling shot. You see Nick scratching his head.
Yeah. That head scratch is basically saying F you to Grant in a respectful way.
Wishing he would retire, probably.
Yeah. Are you seriously only 30?
Yeah, hoping this is his last quad.
Yeah. I'm going to have to play you for another 10 years at least. Oh, boy.
Om man träffar tunt, utsida, bara tick. Då kommer du ticka den och sen förmodligen träffar den igen. Okej, du kommer aldrig kunna ticka den dit i alla fall. Ja. Out. Ja.
So I think they're talking about throwing some steam at this and either staying right on the nose and trying to keep that blank alive.
Yep.
Yeah, I think with where Grant rolled, you almost had no choice.
Whoa, in.
And indeed, that's what they will do. Stick right there. So really nice shot from Oscar Eriksson to follow Grant Hardy's. Now Bruce going to try to get some separation here to maybe force Nicholas to take one.
Slå rulla. Ja.
Whoa. Whoa, curl. Close. Curl. Clean. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Curl. Curl. Hard roll. Hard roll. Hard.
Yeah, didn't quite get the roll they wanted, and I think we may have a one-way ticket to Blanksville here, Connor.
Yeah, this would be a double that they would expect to make now. Some great shots along the way, but when two teams are kind of deciding that Bruce didn't want to go up the deuce, so he was playing a little bit more defensive, and Nick was okay with the blank in the first place, so really hard to stop that from happening.
Key shot, though, for Oscar Eriksson. Do have to make this double to get your team on the path to a blank. And no trouble there for the third for Nicholas Edin. So we will be heading towards a blank.
Yeah, I think so.
No better time to talk about a brand new thing we've got going on here at the Grand Slam of Curling. It's curling trivia. We've just launched a brand new curling trivia game that happens every night draw around the fourth end. You can go to curlingtrivia.com, play along. The winner will get a pair of tickets to the weekend here in Guelph, or if you already have tickets, can't make it down to Guelph, we'll figure something out for you. But lots of prizes to be won. Head to curlingtrivia.com tonight around the fourth end break and play for your chance to win. Just a draw to the house here for Bruce. And now we will see a hit for Nicholas, who's already in the hack. Ready to save a little bit of time on the clock if he can. He's going to throw a pretty big weight at this. Maybe practicing for his next throw. He rolls out. A little surprised he was fine to give Bruce a free draw to the forefoot here.
Yeah, he must have just wanted to throw that, maybe just throw that weight once before he has to throw it for the blank. I think you're right there.
We're through that, Bob.
Paint is good.
Top T.
Lite mer fart och lite mer aktiv, men jag sätter inte ut det. Det är bara de här kändes nice. Jag siktar ju 7 centi kanske tajtare än på 7-0 liksom, eller 7. Kantsten eller lite mer? Ja, det är bra.
So the blank attempt now for Nicholas Edin. As my suave commentary partner alluded to, this is probably what Nicholas wanted all the way along, so now a chance to get it. Christopher Sundgren on it right away, though. See a little tight on it. Does it get out? Oh my goodness.
That's a frustrating one.
Yeah, that's an unforced error there from Nicholas Edin. Played the whole end for the blank, but couldn't find it, and so they will settle for one. Bruce Mouat will have the hammer in for him.
Corner on the same.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Very unfortunate for Nicholas Edin. Played that third end perfectly, had everything set up for a blank, but unfortunately didn't get enough of the outside of the stone, stuck around. And, you know, we spent a lot of the first end waxing poetic about how good Bruce Mouat has been, and that's just a mistake you really can't make against them.
Yeah, so it kind of turns this end into a big end, and the momentum has kind of shifted. So Bruce is going to be looking to capitalize on that, and Nick and his guys are looking to kind of settle down and make some shots here and just kind of move on, go halfway through the game, tie game.
Still getting halfway though.
Got loads of room.
Good for weight, Bob. On your brush.
Ja, det går inte
15 trögare ditåt i alla fall. Okej.
Corner guard up for Hammy McMillan.
Mellan hake. Tror jag den här gången i alla fall. Ena köla. Hake nära. Köla. Nära, okej, och behöver köla för att täcka någonting. På F1. Ja, Åge dra. Mer än att bajta linan.
And I would say just a little bit of a miscue by Christopher on his first one, not getting it deep enough that the Mouat team can now draw around the corner guard and get shot rock. And that ends up kind of dictating how the end's going to be played, as Nick is going to have to chase Mouat's stone instead of the other way around.
There, but keep an eye on the stone.
Yeah, well said. See if Hammy can get this one in the shot. Indicating this one's maybe a little light. Bobby Lammy really leaning on it.
Top 8 now.
With that chicken wing style of his, he really gets a lot of torque on that broom.
Curl. Keep it going. Getting it really close. Okay, great spot.
I predict a lot of painful massages in Bobby's future, but
15-4.
he gets the job done.
Yes, he definitely uses speed as his technique to be effective with the rock, right? And you see a lot of the bigger guys maybe kind of leaning on it a little bit more, but Bobby's definitely got a right recipe to be effective with the stone. There's multiple ways to do it for some smaller guys, right? To find a way to manipulate the rock, and he's got it figured out with how fast he's able to move.
Han behöver spela chappen mer då. Ja, det kan de göra. Ja. Det är okej, då är en gard på i alla fall. Ja. Grejla runt och fan. Då är aldrig där vi drar nu. Ja. Känns bra. Linjen är bra, bite log. Bra fart. 8-4. Vi hänger lite. Bak, hänger bak. Ja, linjen kommer ingenting heller. Bak, hänger bak.
Oh, this is sailing.
Så länge vi är bättre än den så är det helt okej.
I don't know, you're into the side of yours. How low in the out?
Det är så.
So
That is less than ideal.
Yeah, so he really wanted to kind of get that in there in the 4-foot summer, right?
Nose.
And if Christopher's first one was on the button, then his second one could have been a guard. Then Rasmus's shot could have been a high guard and created the most amount of separation. But now, since the first one was a little bit lighter, the rocks are close together, so the likelihood of this being made increases.
Grant Hardy almost taking a spill there, but finds his way through the house. Bobby Lammy makes the double. Nice throw from Bob.
Spelar han så eller?
Vickar man precis förbi även om man inte
3/4 nästan insida då.
Some of the footwork for those sliding sweepers. I never slid. I don't know how they do it. That was very nice from Grant. Very dexterous.
So big weight run back here again.
Doesn't seem like they love it. No. Good shot.
Okay.
Does leave those guards staggered. Yeah, it does give Bobby Lammy the chance to get around here, and Nicholas won't be able to get at it with a run back.
It's hard to know from theirs, but I like an inch less.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Close, just hard to pull it, curl.
Ja, väldigt
A good conversation in the hack there. Just really important as a thrower that you like where the broom is. Sometimes it's a little bit of a placebo, but just buying into the shot is half the battle.
Well, you heard them remark too that, you know, maybe they can't get an exact read off of Nicholas Edin's team, right? And it's important to know that too, that, you know, you're maybe going to throw the rock a little bit different, and so you kind of have to take your own broom. You can't get as much information as maybe you can from some other teams. But certainly the line was in the right spot for that one. Very, very good shot from Bobby.
14-7-5, yeah.
And everybody throws it a little bit different on tour, and everybody throws it very good if you're playing at the Grand Slam and curling. But it's the Mouat team, because they've played together for 8 years, I believe now. Like, they're trying to move the broom 1 inch to make sure everything is perfect, and they're really buying into knowing each other's throws, and that's what makes those shots that are so important look so easy for them.
Yeah, and maybe further to your point too, I always felt when I played that sometimes just moving the broom, as you said, maybe a bit of a placebo, but it can help you dial into a shot sometimes. You know, it just like, it forces you to think a little bit extra about where the broom is, how you want to throw it, rather than just always trusting where the broom is from the skip. Knowing that your skip's probably right, they probably have the broom in the in the right spot, but sometimes you just move it that little bit just to help yourself dial in. I think that makes a big difference, and you certainly saw that from Bobby there. Perfect shot. And for Oscar, just coming up a hair shorter than they would have liked. They wanted that one right on the face of that yellow.
Yeah, so this is kind of a situation where if Bruce makes 4 perfect draws, it's going to be very difficult for Nick not to give up 2. So you see Bruce kind of going with the in-turn so that he doesn't leave a double. Not a lot of room to draw 2, but if it's made perfect, it's going to leave Nick in a little bit of a tough spot.
Tiny bit, but I thought I had to. Line's good. Line's good.
Top button. Yep.
Line. Way only.
Clean. Yep.
Close.
Whoa. Whoa.
Close.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Just want to squeeze by this yellow, just over curled a hair at the end, but that's still a pretty good spot for that, I think.
Försöka trycka ut den sämre än våran. Ja, viktigast är nog att ligga kvar där. Exakt. Få exakt chapp. Ja. Det är alltid för tunn. Ja. Ja, exakt chapp är perfekt. Typ låga 13. Den där kommer de
So wants to throw this soft enough
Vi kommer inte heller kunna
that he can hit it right on the nose.
Viktigast är att den kommer ur full 8 liksom.
He knows if you can't really know from Bruce a double.
13-0 borde med chapp trycka tillräckligt.
Våran är full 8, så kan vi få den att stöta i 12-foten så. Tror du det här ser bra ut?
Deras kom ju lite grann där så. Det där gick lite rakare i slutet på någon sarg där. Ja, tror du det är bra?
So I think they just want to hit this one right on the nose, right beside that yellow shot stone.
Almost all 4 move.
Lite plats kanske. Håll igång då båda två. Japp, japp.
They're just playing like a heavy draw at this because the line is the most important thing they can get.
Bra linje. Hårt! Yes! Järnet linje! Järnet!
Got to make sure you get by the top. Just get by. Do they get by the top yellow? They do, but they hit the yellow in the top 4-foot first. So that took a little bit of the steam out of the tap back. Mouat still lying 2 here.
3/4, half stone, it's very good.
I'm starting to feel a little nervous for Nicholas Edin here. He's trying to punch this one through the hole.
Yeah, so just trying to get a hair low and kind of create that stagger where Nick's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He goes from hoping to not give up 2 to hoping to not give up 3 here pretty quickly.
Curl. Gotta curl. Really gotta go.
Bobby Lammy trying to bring this one over. Don't want to disturb the back one too much. Just didn't quite get inside. Grant Hardy not super happy with himself. As now I think there's a double here.
Den ska ändå göras bra. Den kan ju sitta
You
här.
can see there, it's pretty buried, but it's there for sure.
Sitter den så kommer den väl oftast att spinna dit i alla fall.
Yeah, so kind of throw this with no risk just because the top two guards are hooked, so there is no run back available. So even if it does kind of clip that back red, they're not super worried about it because they will be lying shot rock behind two guards that can't be run back.
Behöver gå tight på garden, så enkelt är det. Ser ut som. Ja, det är tveksamt. Tar så tunt, då vet jag att då kommer den inte kunna spinna uppåt. Då blir det nästan att hoppas på att den typ... Ja, jag tror inte den kan missa den här då faktiskt. Det här känns ju inte riktigt som det ger någonting heller, för den här är ju så loss då. Så litet område att dra på. Det är om man ska spela lite mildare och komma med lite mer båge in i träffen. Ja, jag håller med. Och träffar man en tredjedel, då håller jag med. Då ser det inte ut som den kan missa den här, va? Kan den dock stanna här någonstans så är det ju en potentiell floppsten för oss. Ja. Då behöver han ju lägga en ny precis där. Det är nog det ändå. Eliminerar vi en nu och får ut den andra öppet så är det ju 2 max om vi slår den i alla fall. Ja, går jag i röd så öppnar man i alla fall upp den. Gillar du? Gillar du en 7 eller gillar du mindre fart? Ja, jag gillar en 7.
So Nicholas wanted to take a look at it from the hack, I think. I think he's decided he can see enough to make this double. So.
Yeah, and again, he doesn't exactly have to make the double. He just wants to spill that one out of the 8-foot so that he lies shot.
Yeah, really unfortunate miss there for Grant Hardy. As you said, they were maybe looking like turning their fortunes into a 2 or a 3. And now if Nicholas can make this, he'd be potentially lying 2. Might be hard for Bruce, would need to skip deuce in that case. But still got to make this one. Nicholas Edin first stone here in the 4th. Christopher Sundgren on this right out of the hand. You got to get by the guard. Just by. Now do they have them both? No, it jams.
He almost hit it. He got by the guard so close that he actually did jam it for shot rock, which is not ideal.
Yeah, that's really too bad. Trying to hit that quite a bit thinner. And now perhaps 3 is back on the menu. I mean, certainly 2 is, no question about that.
Yeah, I think you'll see if this is made good that Nick will take his medicine and go down 3-2 after the 4.
I think you're exactly right.
4 inches more than I draw shot. Just went T-line there.
Ja, exakt. På den här mitt 8, halvöppen.
14.
Alltså lite kort kanske vi kan rulla. Alltså vi kan ju nästan rulla åtminstone halv 4 fot.
So a draw around the pile here for Bruce Mouat. Would love this to be top 4, top button. Set himself up well for a crooked number.
Okay, always hammy. Line 3, line 5. Close.
Jag tror inte han sopar så hårt heller.
Close.
Den är för hård, men det är dåligt bedömt också.
Line.
Kommer det bra. Nej, förbi
line. Line.
Anywhere above the T line.
You're by. Right button, hammy, yep.
Perfect spot from Bruce.
He's gonna try to hit and roll and cut some rings. No risk for Nick now. He's accepting that he's gonna give up 2. He's just gonna try to make the last shot for Bruce as hard as possible.
14-4. Become the other turn next turn if I can't come to it. How good he is, huh? Don't want to leave it any shot, any roll, isn't a nice shot, back button. Yeah. Don't really can. No, I think
Last rock, Nicholas Edin, 4th end. Is guaranteed to give up 1 here. Trying to make it a little harder for Bruce Mouat to score 2, but that is not going to roll at all.
Same. Yeah, same.
And so Bruce could hit that one, but looks like he liked his draw weight on the first one and is going to draw again here. Connor, probably fair to say Bruce deserves to after this end, but Nicholas Edin did have a chance to get out of it with his first one and just didn't quite come off for him.
Yeah, he had a slim chance to kind of get out of it and just over curled, so well played end by Bruce and his team.
Piece of the forefoot 4-2, Bruce Mouat.
Line's a little narrow again.
Line's fine.
Line's good this time. Line's good.
Grant Hardy likes the line, Hammy indicating it's maybe a hair heavier. Looks like they need a piece of something here. Oh, and it just stops in time. My goodness, Bruce Mouat, a little heavier than his first one, but it grinds to a halt. They'll take a 1-point lead, and we're going to take a 3-minute break. Don't go anywhere.
All day, it's a way easier shot. Especially on this stuff.
Det är ganska troligt att det kan bli 3 där också.
Helt okej.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are, and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a Gold Line.
it's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Peace of mind, confidence, and financial independence. At World Financial Group, we believe your path to any of these goals is paved by financial education. That's why our agents spend every day empowering individuals and families of all backgrounds with the knowledge to make choices that fit their goals. No matter your financial goals, WFG can help you own your future. Visit worldfinancialgroup.com to learn more.
Pretty narrow.
Well, last time down here.
Pretty tight.
Okay. Over curling, probably.
Hello, curling fans. Welcome back inside the Sleeman Center, home of the WFG Masters, the 4th event on the Grand Slam of Curling calendar. This is Draw 11 action between Team Bruce Mouat and Team Nicholas Edin. John Cullen alongside Connor Negevin for this big game for Nicholas Edin, trying to maybe cement himself in at least a tiebreaker spot. Bruce Mouat looking to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs with a move to 3-0. And Connor, that was a very solid 4th end from Team Mouat, and they now lead.
Yeah, they took advantage of that nose hit blanked and in the 3rd end and came back with the deuce, and that kind of swings the hammer their way.
Close. Line's great. Line's great. Top 8. Line's great. Top 8.
Top 4.
Line's really nice. Top 8. Line's good. So you, Grant. Always Grant.
Okay, we're
15.
So center guard up, corner guard up, draw around. Not surprising, we've seen aggressive starts from both teams in pretty much every end so far. For Nicholas, I guess Connor wouldn't mind a blank here. Would be fine to score in 6.
Yeah, you bet. He definitely would love to take 2, but also is definitely not opposed to blanking this end and scoring. Even if it's only a single in 6, it puts himself in a 2-end game.
An unfortunate miss from Mike McEwen, leading to a steal of 3 for Brad Jacobs. So they now lead that game 5-2. That's available on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Plus.
Turn, you see it. Nice.
We're in long guard or top button?
Yeah.
Draw around the corner guard made. Bruce Mouat is shot, though.
Line's good. Top 8. Line's perfect.
Top 8.
Hey. Hard, guys.
So you see Hammy kind of leaning on that as hard as he could, putting all of his weight on the broom, but actually not moving it very much, and then switching to sweep it more traditionally about 2/3 of the way down. And that's a strategy kind of over the last couple of years that people have been testing and just trying to find a way to get the maximum distance out of a rock and also not wear yourself out too early. We found that like halfway down the sheets is when you can pull the rock the furthest, so there's no use in wasting too much of your energy in that first half, where that's more of where you make a difference for line. So really good job on the sweep there.
Yeah, great shot from Bobby Lammy. Pretty good shot back from Rasmus Vrano, but it is Mouat still lying the one, and we're going to see them take on this corner guard run back here.
I think so. You won't hit it.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Bobby just makes those look so easy, doesn't he? Rolls it right into the middle, too, to stagger the guards almost.
I always love the clean call about 5 inches before the rock's going to hit, because you know he must be feeling pretty good about where he's going to hit it.
Yeah. Most of the time, there's not even enough time to get your broom down to clean it.
You couldn't do anything to it if he just wants everybody to make sure he knows it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on the next sheet over, hey, take a look. I'm about to make this 10-foot run back double, no problem. So we'll see if Rasmus can make a run back right back. This one's more of a straight back, and he will make it. Doesn't stick behind the guards, but still very nice from Rasmus. Just 2 of the best seconds in the game, trading big hits back and forth there.
Control.
Okay, they might just play the blank.
Control. Kan de skjuta gul så rullar de i alla fall utåt då.
Probably firm out here.
Skjuter de röd då kan de inte ligga 2.
Grant Hardy with the chase here.
Clean. Clean.
Out into the wings.
Yeah, and you can kind of hear him in the hack saying before, I think we're just playing the blank right now. As the other guys were maybe talking about playing a draw potentially, but Grant's aware of it, and that's how good these guys are. They're thinking a couple shots ahead. So.
Well, you'd have to think too, maybe, Connor, they're thinking those guards are a little too high. It's not a great force scenario by coming around. And it also opens the possibility of giving up 2 if you leave their rock in the wings. So don't mind the play, although Nicholas Edin not going to hit it. He is going to come around here. Oscar Eriksson's first.
Yeah, am I running the red though?
Håll igång då, bra linje. Ja, bra linjer. Linjen håller sig än. Nu börjar den kalla. Bra, gärna kalla lite tror jag.
Top 8, I could go around the intern side.
Bite 4 är okej. Ja, kalla. Vi behöver lite över bite-linan.
They want to try to bite the forefoot here. They don't want to leave it a little bit higher and actually act as a second guard for Bruce. So really good placement there.
Don't mind that.
Whatever you like.
Where is that?
Just biting the forefoot.
What do you think?
And you come like T-line, it's pretty good.
It's dead buried, I don't think it's there.
Wherever you like.
Like this.
Seems like Grant maybe was preferring the run back here.
Everyone.
Enough ice, Sammy?
He did defer to Bruce, but seemed like maybe he preferred the run.
Yeah, so now, just as we said, they were looking for the blank. We're going complete opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Line's good.
So again, just trying to shrink the scoring area as much as possible. So even if they were to lose this in the back of the forefoot, they're just hoping that Nick kind of comes down there and they can start freezing into the middle.
Line's okay.
Never hammy.
Line's fine.
Close curl.
Yeah, try and keep it as high as possible. Sit. Okay.
So a little deeper than they wanted it. They are shot. But there is a double potential here for Oscar, or they could come right down on top of it.
And this is an interesting conversation because the double, while it's there, would be pretty catastrophic if missed, because you could see Bruce loop another one in there. So I think you probably have to play a draw before you play any type of double, just to make sure that you get shot rock. But it'll be interesting to see how they decide and how they want to work this out. Talking about drawing so that they don't block the double, so that they can play it later, but then obviously you're not going to be shot rock, or do they just go top button right now and Bruce will freeze, and then they might have a draw to the side button for 2 or that in off for 2. I think that double right now is just a little bit too risky.
Bak 12 liksom. Tror han någonsin bara klipper den om vi gör med lite? Gör han det så kommer vi göra den bara. Sorry.
So placement on this is got to be perfect. If he's a little bit too heavy, that means they're going to be able to freeze and be shot rock. If he comes up a little bit too light, then they're going to be able to go around it. So really have to put this in the perfect spot.
Vill ha lite mer än så där. Ja. Vad typ hade ni 0-10 eller vad var det? 0-5 och 15. Ja. Inte jättemycket framåt, var mindre än den hitåt.
So the draw is the call, Oscar Eriksson. Looks like they're not necessarily wanting to come right to it, just top 4, full 4.
Yeah, they want to be able to leave enough room that they can play the double, but this one is sure hanging out there like it might be heavy.
Yeah, has not caught the curl at all, even to the point where Erasmus could carve it. It's just going to sit right there. Bruce Mouat still shot.
Back 4.
And I do think Bruce can get inside of it here, which could be trouble. Could be trouble for Nicholas if he makes that. It's a good look at it there. You can probably see about a quarter of it from the hack. He's just playing back 4, so it should easily curl enough.
No, it just have to be back to
get inside of it.
Inside this, right?
Yeah, and you wonder if that last shot is the difference between Grant throwing his in turn and Oscar being a left-handed player throwing his out turn. And if his out turn just runs just a hair straighter than the normal right-hander in turn, and then just didn't make the adjustment with the ice because his weight was perfect.
Like a hair more? Okay. 4 for like a 13.5. Men det är klart alltså. Men det här landet har ju alltid varit att man kan släppa på honom. Nu kan man ju typ få det till att det är.
Clean. Clean.
Yep.
First rock for Bruce Mouat, 5th end.
Curl.
He's trying to get a little bit inside of this second shot stone to lie 2.
Really gotta go, Bobby.
Bobby Lammy really trying to bring this one over.
Hang on, just get out there now. Hard. Never off.
And so it just doesn't quite catch the curl. A little more weight than they were hoping to throw. You heard Bruce say back 4. That was more like back line. And does Nicholas have, I don't think he's got a double here. What do you think? Other than the one off the in-off double.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if he talked about playing a soft weight, kind of like hack weight double and staying in front. I'm wondering if he actually has enough to potentially hit it a little thicker and throw it a little bit harder maybe. Very close to, if he could throw it hard, to making all three. But again, Oscar's saying it's probably not worth the risk, because if they ever do jam it right on there, he's not going to have a shot to score one.
Däremot om du har gjort den så tror jag den här hakar där. Så kommer han väl runda stägen som blir då kanske. Men det är
It's a really good conversation, getting to the point here where you have to stop worrying about what happens if you miss and just play the best shot available.
Där skulle man ju faktiskt få lite för tunn. Så öppnar man ju upp röd där. Då måste ändå täcka liksom båda sakerna i alla fall.
Det är väl om man tar för tunt så han bara chappar den sen. Ja. Det var, jag vet inte. Här då ligger man ju 2 i alla fall, men han kommer ju troligtvis vara nära på. Frågan om man knackar frys eller om man bara... Inifrån eller utifrån?
60, utifrån. 60. Så.
60? Ja.
Tror den... lite curl tidigt och sen tror jag den kommer gå ganska...
Yeah, so that's what Nick's decided, right? Sometimes the best shot is just the one that he has to make, right? So he's going to play the double, and he's not thinking about missing it at this point. He just needs to make a good one here and force Bruce to make a precise tap.
Big shot here. If you don't get somewhere near the 4-foot, if you're Nicholas Edin, you're almost certainly giving up a steal. So big shot, a lot of pressure, but if you can pull it off, you'd be lying too. Toronto leaning on it. Do they have the double? Do they move it far enough? Oh, I think
really close,
it's really close. Really close. Great shot from Nicholas Edin, regardless. I think, though, it might be only Edin sitting one.
Yeah, like 12-5.
And very important, if he didn't get second shot rock, Bruce can kind of play this risk-free and hit about a quarter, and it's going to be a hard score for Nick.
Yeah, just too bad. Just
you can, really. Depends on the weight, obviously.
Didn't exactly come off for Nicholas Edin.
Similar weight would be okay, but yeah. Yeah,
He's throwing 12. 12-5.
So you heard 12-5, not throwing a ton of weight at this.
Yeah, and probably the best team at throwing the least amount of weight as possible to bring in the sweeping. Always giving themselves the best chance to make the shot.
Last rock for Bruce Mouat, already leading by 1, looking to try and secure a steal.
Yep. Han vill få den nästan på hörnet, var väl det bästa han visade.
Yep. Yes!
This took a jump. This took a jump. Will it stop? Oh, that's close. Really hard to tell. That just really curled on them there. I think that was a made shot if Amy stayed on it.
And you could hear Bobby saying that it was a little bit lighter than what they wanted down the sheet, and you don't know if that was what caused it to just curl a little bit earlier than they thought it was going to.
Okay, vad vill du träffa? En tredjedel tror jag optimalt. Tunn tredjedel, okej.
Now is this there for 3?
Benen får jobbigt liksom, men ja, jag tror tunn tredjedel tror jag också gör den.
I think you got to throw it pretty hard, but
it's close. Yeah, it's very close. He's going to definitely have to have some steam on it.
And you can't see all of it. That's a good look at it there. Nicholas won't be able to see all of it from the hack, so not easy. But I think it's there for 3. You're probably losing the shooter, but you got the one in the back 12. So
he's going to have to throw as hard to pull that angle across the house.
Yeah, it's for 2 at least. Might be for 3 if it comes off. Final stone, Nicholas Edin would be one of the shots of the week if he makes it.
Yep. Hela vägen in. Yes. Kom igen.
Vrano leaning on it. Do they move it far enough for 3? No, but still a great shot, 4-2 from Nicholas Edin. Just a slightly mismanaged stone on Bruce Mouat's last. Nicholas Edin makes them pay. They lead by 1.
Thank you. Ja, bra spel boys. Mycket fint.
Yeah, let's do it.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are, and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Känns 12 just nu, nära 12.
Same corner.
Linjen är bra.
8.
Ja, bra linje. Helt eran.
Full 8.
That was a fun end.
Köra lite nu.
Yeah, great shots and a couple of really precise ones there at the end.
Yeah, really good shot making from both teams. Bruce Mouat getting a little bit unlucky not to get the steal set up there, and we know at this level those mistakes get punished. It wasn't a big miss, but just hit the rock out enough. It gave Nicholas Edin an opportunity, and he took it. They now lead 4-3.
Can you leave it long?
Yeah, we're long.
So this one coming up a little short for Hammy. This is that same outturn, Connor, they came up short on a few ends ago. So maybe to your point about the sheet being slightly dished, does seem like coming that way. They're not quite figuring that weight out.
And I think Hammy's got a slow one. They've been sweeping it every single time at the start of the end. So kind of put it in a weird spot where now he's going to be forced to throw that second corner. They know this is where the rule comes into play, John, where Nick would be very happy if Bruce blanked this end, because he knows that Bruce has to score in 7, which puts him in a really awkward spot. So with that miss on the corner guard, you see Nick just going to put both his rocks in the rings because he knows that Bruce has to throw one more, and now we're going to get 3 down the middle and a chance to maybe look at either forcing Bruce or forcing a blank, which is not what Bruce wants.
Yeah, 6 then. We know Bruce would love to score here. Ideally, you'd score 2.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm actually, like, in this situation, the rule that is put into play here is actually making this end could be a little bit more defensive with Nick throwing both of the rocks in the rings, because he knows that Bruce is going to have to throw that other corner guard. So he's willing to just play as much as he can into the house right away.
Känns bra. Mittemellan låg. Närmare haken mellan.
Gärna köla.
Hake. Lite förbi där visar. F1.
Okej, då är linjen okej, men...
G.
Ja, jag tror inte vi vill ha den så mycket närmare heller, men...
Again, trying to get a little bit more separation. They would have liked that to stop.
Yeah, I'm good run. Yep.
With Bobby being so good at this, they would expect contact to be made almost every time thrown.
Yep.
Or you do it this way. Okay. Here, low.
Doesn't leave a double and tight too for here.
Yeah, when you have a weapon at second, like Bobby Lammy, you can get yourself out of something like a high guard from Hammy there.
Whoa.
See if Bobby can do it here.
Yep.
Grant's been on it out of the hand. And they make the double, and they roll to a third corner guard. Very nice.
It's a really good shot.
Eller ser du något annat?
Jag vill ta över, det beror på hur de där rör sig sen. Vart går de?
Keeping you updated on the other games here. Brad Jacobs still leading Mike McEwen 5-2. They're in the fifth end. Mike McEwen with the hammer. Jordan McDonald has had a nice run of ends here against Marco Husley. They were tied 1-1. Jordan McDonald has stolen the last 2 ends, so they lead 3-1. McDonald would need a win here to keep his playoff hopes alive as he's sitting at 0-2. And in the John Epping, Corey Dropkin game, Epping is leading that one 3-2. Dropkin has the hammer in 6. That game, of course, also being covered here on Home Team Live with Tyler George and Chelsea Carey on the call. And so we're going to see some peeled guards here, Connor.
Yes, this is interesting. They're going to go and try to just, again, play it as defensive as they humanly can, hoping that they can somehow force a blank. With the 2 guards where Bobby rolled to being an easy double peel, they're wanting to generate play into the house as soon as they humanly can. So they're going to go with a double peel probably on Rasmus's next one, unless the chase is available, and just try to find a way to make one more double in the house and get a blank.
14. Sorry? No, just kills the stone. Yeah, it's good speed.
Han ville dra den djupt. Bak 12 snackar de om.
There.
Heard Bruce say here they'd like this in the back 8 or back 12.
Yeah, trying to create as much separation, not only from the double peel, but the double peel actually coming back into the house and getting the shot rock, or the rock that they're throwing.
Speciellt om den är bak 12 så är det rätt tufft att hålla 2 tempo också. Overcurling. Men det är klart, tar jag lite tjock så är det en gard till i boet.
Not quite as deep as they wanted it, but still behind the tee line for Bobby Lammy.
Yeah, so he's going to go 7/8 absolute missile here and try to get the one in the house as well.
Ja, det är okej. Men 6 är bra.
So here comes an Oscar bomb.
Could wipe the lot though.
Yep, yep. Hard! Get it! Whoa, 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 whoa!
1, 2, 3. Oh, and it just sticks there. Great try from Oscar Eriksson.
Too early to roll wide?
You heard Grant say, is it too early to just try to split the rings? You could hit the red one and roll.
Yeah, the 2 shots are try to create as much space by hitting and rolling, or throwing a guard and hoping that they can delay and hit and roll on the next one.
I think so.
Tror inte han slår i alla fall. Lineat upp en out. Fråga efter matchen om de har blå naglar. Line's great.
Run.
Corner guard here for Grant Hardy.
Jag sa till
Lots of run. Curl.
Om man stod som hagdomare så gjorde jag
Line's okay. Clean.
sån rörelse också när
Clean.
han spelar. Men
Overcurling.
bara se om han reagerar på det själv.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They could chase if they wanted to, I think. Does look like they are going to do so.
Yeah, Nick's thinking it's a little bit too long, or the guard's a little bit long, so that they think that they can push this one and lie 2, which would obviously be the best result with only 2 rocks coming from Mouat left.
Lite innanför kant 4.
Big shot here for Oscar Eriksson. Has to navigate the chase.
And once you know that you've made it, you kind of want to roll it as close to the 4-foot as possible. He just lost it there at the end.
Yeah, really curled over. This does leave the double now for Grant Hardy, so a little bit of a mistake there, but like you said, just kind of late finish there. I don't know if there was much they could have done about it. I guess they're not throwing the double, pardon me, they're going to chase back.
Yeah, so he's going to try to throw the soft weight back line to hack and try to get under the corner guard.
förväntar mig.
Again, with the no double blank rule, Bruce is really pushing this end to try to get that 2-point score.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Yep, clean. Clean. Curl.
Ja, exakt. Jag såg 2-3.
Clean. Curl. Clean. Curl. Straight. Straight. Curl. Still needs to curl.
Really good from Grant Hardy. As you said, masters of throwing the minimum amount of weight possible. That just cleared the back line.
Yes, got it out. Perfect weight.
Brilliant. Brilliant touch from Grant Hardy. Great sweep from Hammy and Lammy. And you can see there, that is overburied. I think Nicholas can chase it, but it's definitely harder than it was.
Får man ut den, då är det grymt.
Går jag i den här finns det ju mycket bra som kan hända också, men missar frysen minsta kort så är det ju...
Ja, känns som 5 center längre in än min. Kanske till och med.
Ja, då gillar jag samma. Jag tror is så på mig är bra.
They're gonna try to push it to at least lie 2 to make Bruce kind of have to play an awkward shot.
Ja, ser ut att ha varit lite mer finish nu än vad det har varit tidigare matchen. Så här sluta curla. Och just kom helt okej på slutet där. Mer än vad jag trodde. Ja.
So pro side miss here would be to touch the corner guard and open it up a little bit. But again, kind of getting to the point in the game where everything just has to be made.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. This is a chase we've seen Oscar and Grant make. Now it's Nicholas's turn. And this is the hardest one yet. That yellow is fully buried. First rock for the Swedish skipper.
Yep. Yes.
Rasmus leaning on it here. Got to get by the guard. They don't. Oh, and that is the worst case scenario. Barely moving that corner guard. Do not make contact with the yellow in the house. That is a disastrous result for Edin.
I think I threw it in.
So all they got to do now is roll it about a foot, and they should be almost they're guaranteed to score 2 points. So close to perfection, and just such a disastrous result for him.
Yeah, just rubbing that corner guard. Very unfortunate for Nicholas, and if they go on to lose this game, it'd be a couple of Nicholas's shots himself that they might point to for a reason.
I still like the out. Okay.
I think you can hold it.
10-5, 11. 10-5. Okay.
Det kändes som 12-95.
Roll to his foot, basically.
Men den hade det gått 1 centi, alltså 3 centi från garden hade du kanske behövt gå för att få.
First rock for Bruce Mouat, 6th end, looking to set up a potential deuce.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Whoa. Clean. Yes. Clean. Yep. Gotta go. Hard, Bob. Clean. Go, Hamido.
And that is pretty much perfect from Bruce Mouat, and I don't know that there's really much chance for Nicholas Edin to not give up 2 here. I guess you can go really aggressively for a big roll, but
Yeah, you might see him try to throw it hard and roll it as flat as he can across the sheet, but even then, Bruce will have a little tap back. So really good shot by Grant on his last one to set up this deuce.
yeah, really just whiskered by that corner guard.
My ear feels really red.
So Nicholas is indeed throwing this one hard, trying for the flat roll.
To go with all the other came from your chest infection.
Do they have a chest infection?
Might.
And it will roll, but not far enough. So it's an open hit for Bruce Mouat to get 2 back in the all-important 6th end.
Lite otur att rulla till samma ställe för honom. Lane.
Yeah, that is.
Liten jävla touch det där alltså.
Sorry to give me an inch less than before.
Ja, det var nära alltså.
Ja, den smet ju. Smet och fattar ändå inte riktigt.
Final stone, open hit for 2.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Yes.
Tänker vi nu
Clean.
sjunde. Nu blir ju nollregeln är ju ointressant längre nu. Så.
And Bruce Mouat is not going to make a mistake on a shot like that. 2 will go up on the board. Mouat leads 5-4.
Jag ger en chans för 2 ändå. Ja, alltså spela en corner samma. Får de inte till första 3.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
Ja, kör vi.
Ja.
An unfortunate error for Nicholas Edin gets Bruce Mouat 2 back on the board. They lead 5-4, and I guess the mission here for Bruce Mouat, Connor, is just try to force Nicholas to take 1 by any means necessary.
Curl if you can.
Yeah, I think you'll see Nick probably, I would guess, go around the center line guard. Kind of thinking that he would be okay with a blank in this scenario.
16-5.
But he's going to go corner and just go for it.
Love it. Yeah, you're probably thinking if you're playing Bruce that really you just got to give yourself a chance to score 2 at any point. It's just not easy to score 2 on him at all. We were looking at their stats before the game, and Bruce's force efficiency is incredibly high. Very difficult team to score 2 against.
Yeah, and I think Nick is also... Rasmus has been making everything down the middle, so probably pretty confident that he does get in trouble, he can blast his way out of it. So.
Line's good.
More than that, no?
We more room. Curl.
Here, light.
Gonna have to curl.
Weight's okay.
No, line's good. Line's good.
Weight's good. Top 8.
Curl now. Curl. Curl if you're top 8.
They're looking to put this one in the straightest line as they humanly can, so that if the run back is played, they can't roll the guard off as well.
14-8.
Yeah, really good spot there from Hammy. And just a reminder, we will be back tonight at 7:30 p.m. local time. That's 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. It'll be Stefania Constantini facing off against Danielle Inglis in a must-win game for Team Inglis sitting at 0-2. So hopefully you'll join us for that on Home Team Live tonight.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't hear what you said. Long, yeah.
So here's the first time we're going to see the 2 long center line guards. Bruce knows that they're going to have to peel the middle because he is shot rock. So trying to make the shot for Rasmus as difficult as possible.
I think so. You just rotate that, Bob. We're close. Yeah, we're over.
Line's really nice.
We're over.
Okay. Over and up. Line's fine, bro. Vi vill spela någon vara runt eller spela den dubbel.
Nice. Perfect spot from Bobby Lammy, just over the hog line.
And because they're so perfectly straight, it's such a hard double peel.
Går vi den nära garden och kanske spinner in. Om vi spelar den första rekola så är det OK. Ja. Ja. Det är väl risk att man trycker den hit bara om man ska säkert rulla undan. Det kanske är en där ändå. Försöka ligga kvar, gilla en normal eller något. Annars spelar de väl den antar jag, men...
I think Nick was thinking he would maybe try to play something soft, and I think his teammates are saying, well, these guards are going to be killing us the whole end, so we're going to try to meet in the middle and try to play an offensive peel.
Which means what? Rolling to a corner?
Yeah, so trying to play a peel, but also take the corner, but he threw it a little bit wide and just didn't stick around.
Also fine with the run.
So it'll be interesting to see if Bruce goes right to the run back now, which he does.
Probably putting double peel, yeah. Same spot's good.
Oh, nope. I lied.
I think they're throwing a guard,
Another high guard, yeah.
It was just Grant talking about they could throw the run here. But I think he kind of indicated he'd also be fine with this. Delay the end a little bit. I think, as you said, Connor, Mouat being shot sort of changes the shape a little bit here. They can afford to delay it a little longer.
We're here, Darrow.
Gonna work on this to get it over. That's a big miss.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Bobby. Don't see a hog too often from Bruce Mouat, and this might give Nicholas Edin a chance to get a 2 set up.
Touchlinan ser väl kanske nära ut. Sämre.
Get that set up or potentially leave a blank option.
Oh, nice.
Needs that out of the house, and it will go. So a nice shot from Rasmus.
So with the draw.
Great shot.
Okay.
Going this way.
Okay.
Heard Grant again say he would actually be okay with the draw here too, but doesn't mind the run back. I think he's just nervous. Yeah, you heard him say
Yes, go low.
He's just nervous about rolling to stagger those guards.
Call for high.
Lite kletigare is.
Yep. Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa.
Whoa, curl.
On the way, Bob.
Okay.
And does not make the run and leaves the yellow up.
Ja, jag tror det. Topp 4 i höjd.
Nicholas Edin going to split the house here.
Kind of the perfect situation now for Nick, where he can score a deuce, but there are no yellows in play, so he hopefully can get himself in a position where he doesn't have to look at giving up a steal or getting forced. So really good spot for him. He can either get that blank or those 2 points. Either one he would be happy with.
Ja, den börjar kalla nu. Ja, fortfarande kalla. Ja. Hon är full 4 i höjd ungefär.
Inch out on his side, ideally.
Ja, det är bra. Snyggt.
And perfectly lined up by Oscar Eriksson. Dead even.
Are you throwing normal?
Okay.
Ja, det är 10
That's good. Just an easy note.
Gränsen åt det läsa hållet. Lite extra.
Yep, yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Ja. Whoa! Curl. Helt out den.
Straight. Whoa. Whoa. Hard roll. Whoa.
Trying to roll over as close as they can to that red stone. Still want to be shot. That's pretty damn good from Grant Hardy.
In between the two, really. We've gone either too far or not too far enough. Yeah, good man.
Ja. Man vickar lite bra också. Ja. Är det 11 utifrån? Ja.
Good throw.
Sorry first.
Really good. Wasn't easy. Nose this back from here?
Yeah, I'd love to make a double and then you can maybe draw your last.
Tror den kommer nu. Ja! Ja! Rent! Ja! Wow. Lite vick. Nice.
Roll to freeze?
Yeah, roll on top.
Yeah.
Barrier?
Yep.
Nice.
Even less, or do you like barrier?
I think an easy barrier. Don't want to take off on you.
So trying to roll this one right in front of the red so it makes Nick's shot as awkward as possible.
Ja, exakt. Det är lite äckligt att bara klippa den, för där kan du lägga upp en på flaggan.
Jag gillar det. I want to let it take off really, but yeah, 11's good, I think.
Full 4 då. Full 4 så han inte har för lätt runda. Man bara topp 8. Han skjuter alltid på våran guard så då är det 0 eller 2. Ja, exakt. Och nu vickar han. Gissar med den där isen. Ja, vickar på nytt. Eller om det är en intern fjärdedels utsida.
Clean.
Curl!
Whoa.
They're trying to throw this a little bit softer to try to get the steepest roll possible.
Curl! Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Anything, Bob.
10-9.
So no roll at all for Bruce Mouat. And Nicholas Edin looking pretty good to score 2 here.
Fördelen han har är att är vi där och han har gjort den exakt perfekta, då har vi tangeringen visserligen. Tangering och kejsare. Men nej, men är vi där så är det ju 4 meter mindre curl vi har om man skulle visa en fjärdedel av den. Ja. Ja. Det känns som han kan göra den perfekt, men har vi lagt den här då så tvingas vi att spela tangeringen för 2.
It's an interesting call. Like Nick was talking about drawing, I really don't like the draw in this scenario because if you hang it a little high, Bruce is going to hit and roll under. And if you go a little deep, you're leaving Bruce either a double or potentially a freeze to get out of it. I think you just hit this, and if Bruce makes the double, you go to the last end trying to score a deuce to win. And Oscar did a good job kind of laying it out, and they're going to go for the hit here. He didn't quite lay down in front of it, but
I've never seen that in practice. I think people talk about laying down in front of the shot, but I feel like I've never seen that. I'd like to.
I've had my moments for sure.
Oh, there's definitely been times I wanted to. No question about that.
So again, trying to make the double as hard as possible. Want to hit this on the nose and make that slash difficult.
Well, yeah, so you could also play this, Bruce.
Yeah. Whatever you like. Just probably just played it.
You also call it time.
Yeah, so not often do you heard that conversation where Grant said you could play the hit and roll behind it and make him make that 3-foot run back, and Bruce said whatever you like. And he's not even, Grant's not the one throwing the rock, it's Bruce throwing the rock. So they have a really,
yeah, I'd say that's my third favorite option.
A really different communication style in this team, and Bruce really just buys into whatever the guys are seeing.
Yeah, so we'll see Greg Drummond come out. Michael Goodfellow is Bruce Mouat's main coach, but Greg Drummond is one of the Scottish national coaches and is traveling with Bruce Mouat this week, so he's going to come out for the timeout. We'll hear what he has to say.
That's perfect. It's not a straightforward straight back.
Yeah. And again, nothing that they play is going to leave Nick necessarily the hardest shot in the world, but they do want to make him throw the hardest possible one, just in case they do get a miss.
Jag skulle säga dubbelsätta 8 av 10, vilken sätter han 4 eller 5 av 10. Kanske bara 3 som man inte har en vettig chase till och med.
He's also just thrown that.
Yeah. I think I like taking on the blank just because he's thrown this nice hit.
Nyttig curl för chasen, då tvingas vi spela tangering. Det hade ju varit okej.
2/3, I think.
Har ju alltid en tangering.
So this is what Bruce originally wanted to play. And I think once he kind of said after the discussion, you know what, I like the blank. There was no pushback from any of the team. That's what he wants, and that's what he's going to get here.
So looking for around 2/3 of a rock. If they do make contact with the back rock, it is going to spin a lot. So as long as he throws this nice and hard and makes contact, it should spin out of the house.
Close. Clean. Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Final stone here for Bruce Mouat, trying to force Nicholas Edin into the blank, and he will do just that. Gets rid of both red stones. And so we'll see Nicholas throw it through, and we'll see what he can do in the 8th end.
Good stuff, guys. Aye, okay. Some idea, I think.
Top four. Or like top four tight and long.
I quite like the same idea. Top four tight and long, like, you know, we make them good where.
We're good. Yeah, I like tight first.
Yeah, me too. Tight. You can go top four first if you want, it doesn't really change anything.
No.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Att få in någon och sen kan man få någon frys på din första eller andra. Bara som att ha något som man känner att ja, men den ligger där, den är jobbig för motståndarna.
På det slaget och torskat också när vi har varit lite sämre form nu en period. Så jag förstår att man vill hålla nollan.
Spelar de där hacksagefarterna på nära gagder och rulla
Line's good. We burn room.
Det är tufft. Stilla ha en corner så
On
vi
your
alltid har en
brush.
skjutning.
Curl. Almost in.
Eller 2 corners,
good for
det är
tight.
fine. Jag är fine med det också.
Yeah, keep it going.
Keep going, Bob. You're getting it close. Good.
Nice.
8th end, Nicholas Edin with the hammer here, down 1. We'll see if he can manufacture a deuce. This is what it's all about here in curling. As we said, Bruce Mouat has one of the best force efficiencies in the game, if not the best. So probably chances are a little more likely that Bruce would force Nicholas to 1 and have the hammer in the extra, but we have seen Nicholas score 2 on him already so far this game. We'll see if he can repeat the feat here. As we have center guard and corner guards up.
Kan man få in någon som är liksom jobbig för dem på någon av Hasses? Så det inte blir alldeles för sent. Så man måste göra någon sån perfekt vick.
Vad gillar du nu först och främst med nästa sten?
Det är ju lurigt vad som är
Yeah, so I would expect some rocks in play this end. Nick really pushing hard to score 2 points. The numbers to steal in an extra end in men's curling are not very good for the team that doesn't have hammer, and they're especially worse if you're playing the #1 team in the world.
Jag tror det. Gillar ni en till?
Clean now. Clean. Because I think I burnt that. I think it was.
Oh, that's huge.
Pretty sure it was.
Grant Hardy admitting that he burnt that stone, and so they pull it off. And that is a massive mistake in the 8th end from Grant Hardy. Good on him to admit it. You know, Nicholas Edin would have never said anything about it.
Before the hog line.
But he said he burnt it before the hog line, and they pulled it off. So great sportsmanship from Grant Hardy, but this now really puts Bruce Mouat behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, so you'll see Nick kind of get a free chance now to throw that second corner guard and doesn't have to make some crazy double peel on his next one. He's only going to have to deal with a single run back.
Top bud.
Yeah, do you ever throw long just to keep them away?
Yeah, and that's an interesting conversation from Grant about just throwing a high guard and just knowing that Nicholas has to kind of clear something out. But I think they're just going to go the traditional route and go top 4 here.
Weight's good. Ja, det var först runt topp 8 eller? Line's good.
Just bottom of the sign.
They are going with the long guard.
Close to your feet, Purse.
I think I like this call quite a bit.
Okay, over curling then.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
I think the run back into the house is just going to be made so often, and you know that he's going to have to try to clear the middle. So trying to create 2 guards, although they wish that they were kind of lined up, would have created the hardest option for the double peel, kind of what they did last time where Rasmus ended up having to play that kind of soft peel shot. Now they over curled it, so I think this could end up being a timeout here to talk about this. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I thought so too. They're not in time crisis mode with 2 timeouts, but don't have a ton of time on the clock. 3:30 left, so Alex Lindstrom, their coach, will come out to have a chat.
So again, like trying to respect the opponent, but also you do have to play something into the rings at some point, right? So with that tight guard being available, they're talking about like potentially leaving that run back and what that run back might look like if not only made but stuffed in the ring. So do we deal with that center line guard, or do we think it's a good opportunity to draw one in?
Ja, gör de den dubben och spinner av någonstans.
Ja, så den här kan vi runda utifrån också. Ja. Eller bara typ lägga någon... Ja, jo.
Man kan ju lägga en nära där.
Vi kan lägga tillbaka en corner också. De kommer ju någon gång måste sluta slå dem. Och då har inte de någonting att göra heller riktigt.
Nej, ju senare det blir så behöver de ju bara ett bra slag i slutet för att få bort tvåan för oss.
De kan aldrig förhindra att vi har en corner i alla fall. Vad gillar vi det här typen av slag? Om man liksom gör något sånt, skav, bara trycker ner den här. Alltså även om den går ut i en sak.
Eller den här då.
Ja.
Även om den här stickar där.
And I've always been friends with Nick, and they've always been really nice guys to me, but I thought it was really nice that they put my picture right on the front of their jerseys.
Rundar vi där så lär de frysa. Ja. Jag tror de fryser.
I didn't realize that was you.
Nice to know I'm still kind of in the slams.
You look good. You look good on those jerseys there. Strong.
So deciding to draw one in there now. Had a good conversation about, do we peel, do we hit and roll, what's the best way to do this, but the reality is you are losing, so you do have to get rocks in the rings at some point. So gonna put one in there to start and see what Mouat does.
Känns bra. Linjen är bra. Full 8. Gott om plats just nu.
So on this shot, looking to bite the forefoot so that if Mouat does freeze and the end goes on, there might be a chance for Nick to draw to the other side of the forefoot for his 2 points in the win. If it goes a little bit too deep, you can already hear Grant on the mic saying that he's going to freeze it.
Good spot there for Rasmus, but they are going to run, I think.
Yes, I think it stopped in the perfect spot, I think, for Nick. So forcing the run back, which is, I think, if Nick got to choose what he would like. If he gets a miss here, then he's going to be able to play an aggressive shot. And even if he stuffs it, there's still lots of rings to work with.
Yep.
Weight's good.
Yay!
Big shot here for Bobby Lammy, looking for the short run back.
Okay, that's good.
Doesn't quite get it on the nose, but gets enough of it to remove it from play.
It's helped a little bit. Okay. It's nicking is a disaster. Half of off, game over. Kind of like love to be able to play a freeze.
Yeah, you can kind of hear the Mouat boys on the mics. They're talking about how they're going to try to close the scoring area off eventually. They're okay playing the run back, but they'd really like an opportunity to kind of shrink that scoring area for Nicholas. And same thing for Nick. They're just trying to get that full 8-foot nibble the 4-foot so that they can leave enough room that if this is stuffed on there, that we do have still room to work with.
So we'll see if Grant Hardy can stick it here. His first 8th end burnt a rock earlier in this end, so Mouat has been chasing ever since.
Curl. Clean. Clean. Hammy. Whoa. Curl. 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 Curl.
That needs to get out of the house, and it does just.
Yeah, 9-5. 9-7 anyway, sorry.
Couldn't quite find their way to the nose there, and Nicholas Edin will be able to draw around once again.
It's going to be in the air today, isn't it?
Ja. Bite 4.
I got a hole now, no. I got the hole now.
So trying a different turn here just to give Mouat a different look at the run back. Kind of rolled that shooter off too. A little bit of a different draw path for Oscar. Again, really focusing on, you can see Nicholas, right, nibbling the 4-foot, full 8-foot.
Bra linje. Bara fart. Det är små tight på höger. Ja. Sitter de där så långt. Bite 4, halva 4. Ja, det är perfekt.
Want this one to stop.
Den curlar till så det blir väldigt nära garden till slut.
Want less weight or same weight?
Same weight.
So pretty, really well played so far from the Nick Edin team, just putting every rock in the perfect spot, forcing very difficult shots for Mouat team.
Whoa! Curl. Clean. Clean. Straight. Yes. Gotta go. Hard.
This is the loudest we've heard Bruce and Grant all game, as they know that this rock has to get out of the house. Can it go? Oh my goodness, it will not, and that very well may be Nicholas Edin's second point. Just haven't quite been able to find the right spot to put the broom for those run backs, and boy, that really could cost them here.
Sorry, bud.
And that's the danger, right, of throwing those run backs with that softer weight. You can control it more, but if you do hit the rock a little bit off, there's a chance that it doesn't go out of the ring. So kudos to the Nick Edin team for putting the draws in the absolute perfect spot. I think any deeper than full 4-foot, you're going to see Bruce freeze it. And again, just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you couldn't walk these down any better, and that's 4 in a row now that they've put just biting that 4-foot.
So if Bruce does switch to a draw shot here, that is conceding that they are going to give Nick some sort of shot for the win. So some sort of angle run back. He does have the 2 corner guards. So if they do switch to going for it, I would say now that they are trying to go for the win.
Back 4.
Lite rakare den här var lite mer.
Can be half in the 4-foot and still high shot.
10 lösare kanske. 14-5 så
just need to try and get it pretty buried.
Liknande eller lite mjukare. Sen högre hållbar kanske. Ja. Och någonting säger med 14-74.
So switching gears here, trying to bury it in the back of the 4-foot and create a steal opportunity.
Yeah, has not been the best 8th end for Bruce Mouat. Needs to come up with something to turn the tide here. This is a critical shot with his first.
Pretty
Nicholas
narrow.
Edin already lying 2.
Line's okay.
Line's okay. Line's good.
Room.
Line's good.
Room.
On the corner just now, Bob.
Do not want to be on the corner.
Han kommer gå i den.
Do not want to be on the corner. Oh my goodness. We really just never see this out of Bruce Mouat. This is something akin to a capitulation here in the 8th end. Looked like that was heavy, never really got off the line in which Bruce threw it, and Boy, you really have to think that Nicholas Edin has a great chance to win this game here.
Yeah, putting a perfect draw, I think now on Nick's first is gonna give him a shot for the win for sure.
So they're using their second timeout. Alex Lindstrom back out once again.
Man vill väl ligga halva fyrfoten så. Nej. Jo, det kan han. Jo, det kan han. Okej. Men han stickar den ju där liksom.
I think the biggest thing here is not creating any sort of hook or any sort of stagger, as we would say. So any sort of stagger would mean that if Bruce ever got behind it, it would be hard for Nick to get at it. So trying to make sure that they put it in a spot where Nick's going to be able to use it. So right beside the rock, just where Nick's broom is, right there. So that if Bruce was to make something really good, he can't run it and get shot rock, and he can't hide behind any of it. So about half of the forefoot without hooking around the top 4-foot one on the center line. So they've done a really good job. They've basically made 6 perfect draw shots. If they make the 7th, I like their chances of having a relatively easy shot to win.
Nästan vart vi än lägger den så kommer man ju ha någon sån här TT-trippel liksom. Det går inte riktigt att undvika. Så jag tycker halva till full 4 och precis helium, det är optimalt.
So first rock, Nicholas Edin, 8 fend, already lying 2, looking to give himself a chance to score a couple and win this game. Just needs to draw top 4, biting 4-foot right beside the rock that's already there.
Inte satt sig så mycket alltså. Ja, kan ni köra om ni vill, men...
Linjen är bra, linjen är lugn. Plats.
Linjen är bra. Hänger.
Gå rakt.
Köla.
Hasses. Ja, det är okej. Behöver köla.
This is also hanging, very similar to Bruce's in this same spot. Rasmus doesn't really want to sweep it too much because it's heavy.
So as long as they get a piece of it buried.
Well, that really died. But this might have set up a double here for Bruce. No, I guess not. It must be.
He got it in there enough. Yeah, he got it in there enough. So it's whether he can see enough of the yellow to run it back or if he has to come off the side red.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good look at it there. Definitely no way they could ever get inside of that without coming off of an outside one. I think, like you said, Connor, those are the 2 options. You've got the double run, or you've got coming in off of the red one really thin.
So pretty good spot on Nick's first one there. It wasn't exactly the line that they were looking for, but pretty good. It's still forcing Bruce to, I would say, a very difficult shot.
Yeah, you could also hold, like even if I just think you could also put it through the hole.
Can I hit the 7 first now?
I just don't want to call for the gap and you can hit the gap.
Really en dragning.
So talking about the long run double
I think that looks easier to me than
or the in-off. So he's thinking if he hits 7/8 on the highest guard, you can see in the screen, then he can make the run double and it would be buried.
Kan ni spela TT också om han stickar? Om man inte vickar för.
I need to get rid of both of these as well.
Kan man ju spela
Yeah, I think the thing I like about the long run is you get rid of both of them. Coming off of the in-off, there's no guarantee you do that. I think there's more ways to miss the in-off too.
Wow.
They're both very, very difficult shots.
Coming off the line. What's this, a third?
Yep.
Even a quarter?
Thin third.
A quarter, you missed this?
Yep. Yeah, you don't need to be flying at it either, Bruce.
Yeah, play normal.
Yep.
So I guess, Connor, they're liking this one because it leaves the guards up.
Yeah, and they're just saying that the run double, just to make the line call on the run double and have it sit and not spin at all is very, very difficult.
Okay, he'll give me less than that.
So just trying to hit a third and plant it on shot rock. And if they do that, it should leave the hardest possible shot for Nick to have the shot for the win. So Nick will be playing a shot for the win. He won't play a shot for one.
All Bruce has to make this one first, and this is very high degree of difficulty. He needs to make an in-off, miss the top red, and just plant it on the first shot stone. Nicholas Edin lying 3. Bruce Mouat trying to keep his hopes alive here in this draw 11. Final stone.
Curl. Whoa. Straight. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. 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 Straight.
Close. It's close. How
What a
about
shot.
that from Bruce Mouat? Phenomenal touch. Did not throw it too hard. Planted it exactly where he wanted to. What a shot from Bruce Mouat.
They're so good at throwing those hard shots and making them look so easy. No panic on the line call. Almost like they weren't even trying. And it's made for fun. So, like I said, that's the best possible outcome. You will see Nick take on this angle run for the win.
This is high-level curling, baby.
Yeah, it's been a great game.
I will say that Bruce Mouat's only loss at a slam this year came against John Schuster, and John Schuster made a very similar shot to this one to win, and I was on the call for it, so maybe I'm Bruce Mouat's bad luck charm, I don't know. John's was an in-off. This is an angle run, but if Nicholas makes it, with those hangers on too, he doesn't have to make it perfectly, he just needs to make that yellow go out of the rings.
Yeah, so looking for very close to half rock.
Final stone, Nicholas Edin, angle run for the win. Nothing yet. Do they have it? Does it go far enough? Yes, it
Great
does. What a shot from Nicholas Edin. Finds the perfect angle, scores 3. What a shot from Bruce, matched by Nicholas. Unbelievable game of curling here. Edin puts 3 on the board. They are 7-5 winners. Bruce Mouat's second loss in the slams all season long, and that belongs to Nicholas Edin. They improve to 2-1. Bruce Mouat falls to 2-1. My goodness, what a game. We will be back here in about an hour and a half time with some more fantastic curling here on Home Team Live. You won't want to miss it. For Connor Negevin, the whole crew here, I've been John Cullen. Thanks for joining us. Good night.